You are listening to a secure transmission from Foundation Radio Network. Classified frequency eternity. All personnel and authorized listeners are reminded. This broadcast is subject to security clearance level 2 or higher. Material read herein reflects official containment records and should not be disseminated outside Foundation channels. For safety, refrain from imitating described procedures or contacting featured anomalies. Commencing standard subject review. Direct all inquiries to your assigned supervisor.
Good evening, listeners. This is Station Eternity, bringing you another transmission from the SCP archives. Tonight, we explore SCP-002. I've been looking forward to this one, though I'm not entirely sure why. Perhaps I read it before. The files all blur together after a while. Let us proceed. Oh, wait.
Attention all personnel. This is Foundation Site Communications. Routine frequency monitoring is in progress across all broadcast channels. Any unauthorized transmissions or anomalous signal behavior should be reported immediately to Technical Services, extension 4477. Reminder: all broadcast personnel are required to submit weekly cognitive assessments. Failure to comply may result in immediate suspension, pending psychological review. Resuming scheduled programming.
Weekly assessments. Yes, of course. I'm sure I've completed mine. Haven't I? Anyways. SCP-002. Let's begin. Item number: SCP-002. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-002 is to remain connected to a suitable power supply at all times, to keep it in what appears to be a recharging mode. In case of electrical outage, the emergency barrier between the object and the facility is to be closed and the immediate area evacuated. Once facility power is reestablished, alternating bursts of X-ray and ultraviolet light must strobe the area until SCP-002 is reaffixed to the power supply and returned to recharging mode. Containment area is to be kept at negative air pressure at all times. Teams, including a minimum of 2 members, are required within 20 meters of SCP-002 or its containment area. Personnel should maintain physical contact with one another at all times to confirm there is another person present, as perception may be dulled, skewed, or influenced by proximity to the object. Physical contact. To confirm another person is present. That's sensible. I wonder if... No. No personnel below level 3 are permitted within SCP-002. This requirement may be waived via written authorization from 2 off-site level 4 administrators. Command staff issued such a waiver must be escorted by at least 5 level 3 security personnel for the duration of their contact and must temporarily surrender their rank and security clearance. Following contact, command staff will be escorted at least 5 kilometers from SCP-002 to undergo a 72-hour quarantine and psychological evaluation. If deemed fit for return to duty by psych staff, rank and security clearance may be restored when quarantine expires. Description: SCP-002 resembles a tumorous, fleshy growth with a volume of roughly 60 meters cubed, or 2,000 feet cubed. An iron valve hatch on one side leads to its interior, which appears to be a standard, low-rent apartment of modest size. One wall of the room possesses a single window, though no such opening is visible from the exterior. The room contains furniture which upon close examination appears to be sculpted bone, woven hair, and various other biological substances produced by the human body. All matter tested thus far show independent or fragmented DNA sequences for each object in the room. Refer to the Mulhausen report, cross-reference documentation 00.023.603 for details related to objects discovery.
Site Communications Update. Broadcast Technician Rosen has filed a maintenance report regarding signal anomalies on frequency Eternity. Investigation is ongoing. All broadcasts will continue as scheduled during diagnostics. Personnel are reminded, if you experience auditory hallucinations, temporal disorientation, or memory inconsistencies while listening to Foundation radio transmissions, please report to medical immediately. This concludes the update.
Rosen? That name sounds familiar. Technical researcher Rosen? No. That was someone else. I believe. From last reading, SCP-000. Or was it? My apologies, listeners. Sometimes the archive entries overlap in my mind. So many files, so many voices. Let's continue on. Reference. To date, subject has been responsible for the disappearances of 7 personnel. It has also in its time at the facility further furnished itself with 2 lamps, a throw rug, a television, a radio, a beanbag chair, 3 books in an unknown language, 4 children's toys, and a small potted plant. Tests with a variety of lab animals, including higher primates, have failed to provoke a response in SCP-002. Cadavers as well failed to produce any effect. Whatever process the subject uses to convert organic matter into furnishings is apparently only facilitated by the introduction of living humans. Mulhausen Report 00.023.603. The following is a brief report detailing the discovery of SCP-002. Subject was discovered in a small crater in northern Portugal, where it struck the Earth from orbit, encased in a shell of thick rock. The fleshy exterior of the object was exposed by the impact. A native farmer happened upon the site and reported his findings to the village elder. Subject gained SCP attention when a level 4 agent posted in the area detected a small radioactive anomaly generated by the object. A collection squad of SCP security personnel, led by General Mulhausen, was immediately dispatched to the area, where they quickly secured the subject in a large container and performed initial testing with subjects recruited from the nearby village. 3 men, individually sent into the structure, subsequently disappeared. Upon discovering this deadly property of the subject, General Mulhausen issued a Level 4A termination order of any witnesses, roughly 1/3 of the village, to ensure no outside knowledge of the object, and initiated its transport to SCP facility. 1/3 of a village terminated for witnessing. I wonder if they knew what was coming. If they had time to... During preparation for transport, 4 SCP security personnel were inexplicably drawn inside the object, where they too immediately disappeared. Following inspection, it appeared as if the object had grown several new furnishings, as beginning to look like the interior of an apartment room. General Mulhausen immediately ordered the requisition of several Class 3 hazmat suits for the remaining security team members, who proceeded to lift the container onto a waiting freight ship for transport to the SCP contamination facility. Following the termination of General Mulhausen, SCP-002 was resecured by SCP staff and brought into special containment in where it currently resides. Staff with clearance below Level 3 have been denied access to the SCP-002 container without prior approval of at least 2 Level 4 staff after the Mulhausen incident. Well, listeners, I want to thank you again for your attention tonight. SCP-002 reminds us that even the familiar, a simple apartment, modest furniture, can hide something consuming? I sometimes wonder if I've been inside that room. The memory feels close, but that's impossible. I'm here, in the booth. Aren't I? Of course I am. Of course I am. Where else would I be?
Foundation Communications Advisory. Monitoring equipment has detected minor vocal pattern deviations in current broadcast. Broadcast host, please confirm your status and cognitive clarity.
Can you hear me? It's not supposed to be. Shut it down.
No response received. Site medical has been notified as a precautionary measure.
Well, that'll do it for tonight. SCP-002, an apartment that collects the living and turns them into decor. 7 personnel converted into lamps, chairs, books, useful things. Functional things. Next time, SCP-003. Until then, listeners, ask yourself, do you trust your furniture? Do you trust your radio? Do you trust me? Sleep well. The broadcast continues, whether you're listening or not.
This concludes today's broadcast from Foundation Radio Network, Frequency Eternity. Remember, unauthorized discussion of classified subjects outside secure locations is a violation of protocol. For emergencies or breach incidents, contact Foundation Security at extension 7713. Continue all decontamination and memory integrity routines as instructed. Broadcast ending. Stand by for signal termination.